The placebo effect is more powerful than you realize. And I figured this out when I recently got this Whoop thing. The Whoop is like this little fitness tracker. It's like one of those smart like watch things that kind of tracks like metrics like your sleep, your heart rate, things like that. And I realized that when I woke up, let's say I just feel like shit just because I was just groggy, I just didn't sleep well, and just feeling really tired, and that's how I wake up feeling. As soon as I check my Whoop and I check my scores and it says like 90% sleep score, which is very good, then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, awesome, guess I feel good. And like the opposite is true as well. Like, let's say I wake up feeling great, refreshed for the day. I check my Whoop score and it says my sleep is like only 20% effective. I'm like, oh, guess I'm not recovered. Guess I'm tired. And so I found that experience really funny because it showed me how much our mind plays in our thoughts, feelings, and decisions. And I realized that sometimes psychology is just as important, if not more important, than biology. And this just comes down to, like, honestly, the placebo effect. Like, sometimes just seeing the fact that I slept well, that's kind of weird phrasing, but like, let's say I just had really good sleep, then I would feel like I had good sleep. And it just creates this positive, like, feedback loop in the sense that I just feel great overall and feel like I have a lot of energy to take on the day. And the opposite is true. And so that's the reason I'm telling you this, is because ultimately, in a lot of like difficult situations, your psychology plays a greater role than what is actually like happening. Like, what I've heard is that oftentimes your biggest enemy lives between your two ears. And basically what that means is the biggest enemy you'll face is oftentimes just your brain. Because your brain is going to spew so much just nonsense thoughts into you. And sometimes it's going to be great. For example, a placebo effect in the positive direction, that's great. But more times than not, I've realized it's in the negative direction. There will be just harmless things that happen in life, but my brain and my thoughts just paint it as some super negative experience. And because of that, I just feel like down and depressed for ages. And, the sleep score is just one example. Like, if it says I got a really bad score and I feel bad because of that and I just end up feeling drained, then even though when I'm not, then that's just, like so like counterproductive, but it happens. And that's just a small example. There's bigger things. Let's just say I just said something stupid in a conversation. My brain's going to dwell on that. And because of that, like, it's going to just spew like negative thoughts, and it's just going to like think I'm just like a dumbass because I said that one sentence that was just absolutely like, out of the blue, stupid. And it's just going to focus on that rather than focusing on all the good. And so the overall takeaway for this that I'm really going to implement going forward is that you are honestly in control of your thoughts much more than you realize, and your thoughts are much more in control of like your general well-being than you realize. Like, your thoughts oftentimes dictate reality, and sometimes that's the scary thing. But at the same time, that's also the empowering thing. Even though your thoughts can like lead you down a negative direction, the opposite is true as well. You can control your thoughts so it leads you to feeling positive about yourself. And oftentimes, it doesn't require even a real stimulus for you to feel good. Sometimes just a random number on a random smartwatch telling you that you felt great results in you feeling great. But what that means is we can control this ourselves. What if we can take away the watch? So that's not part of the equation, and we just automatically think positive thoughts to ourselves. And that honestly sounds like such a like counterproductive thing to do. Like, no way that works. But just from this experience with the Whoop and the smartwatch, I realize that's definitely the case. That your thoughts dictate reality. And so that's the takeaway. That your thoughts shape the reality that you live in.